Millions of people around the world open their phones, tap one button, and close the app. Day after day. Some do it out of habit, others out of curiosity, and many because they still don't fully understand what's going on. The idea behind Pi Network feels both simple and mysterious: tap and earn. But what's really behind it? Pi Network was born as an experiment. What if a cryptocurrency could be mined by ordinary people, without expensive hardware, without complex setups, without paying huge electricity bills? The developers presented an ambitious mission: to return cryptocurrency to billions of people, not leave it only for engineers and early investors. And that's how the phenomenon began. From the very first day, the project attracted those who missed early Bitcoin, who didn't enter Ethereum in time, who were tired of hearing, "You should have bought earlier." Pi offered a second chance, and a chance without investment. Just open the app, tap the button, confirm your activity. But soon many started asking, if it's this easy, where's the catch? The secret is that while most people see just a daily tap, the project is building infrastructure. Millions of users, a massive social network, trust mechanics, identity verification. All these layers create an ecosystem that could become the foundation of something huge. But that future still remains uncertain. Some see Pi Network as a brilliant social experiment, others as a potential scam, and others as a sleeping giant that could become one of the biggest airdrops in crypto history. But the fact remains, very few projects in the world have managed to gather such a massive user base without a single dollar required up front. In the early stages, Pi focused on community building. The more people joined, the higher the potential value of the future token. It's like constructing a huge power plant. It isn't running at full capacity yet, but the power is already built into the structure. The question is only when it will be switched on. Another major issue is the waiting for the token to hit open markets. Many users hold their Pi inside the closed ecosystem, unable to sell it, trade it, or even know its actual value. And this creates tension. You're accumulating, but you don't know whether you're saving wealth, or just collecting empty numbers. Yet among analysts, there's an interesting viewpoint. Projects that build huge audiences before token launch often generate the loudest value explosions. Demand is created in advance, even before the supply exists. Many major crypto projects followed this model, and some of them became legends. But Pi Network is different. There is no hype around price, no charts, no exchange drama. Only waiting. And that makes the project even more mysterious. When there is no known price, there's no speculation, no panic, no manipulation, only time and patience. And those two factors have always produced the strongest launches. So the main question every participant keeps asking is, are my daily taps a path to a future airdrop, or am I just wasting time? The answer isn't as simple as it seems. Because the point of Pi Network was never in the tap, it was in creating a movement that could ignite at any moment. And the closer the project moves toward the open network phase, the more rumors, predictions, and expectations appear. But to understand where all this is heading, you need to understand what Pi's value is actually built on, and what could happen when the token finally launches. But the main question everyone keeps asking is this: is Pi Network really preparing a massive airdrop, or is this all just a game built on hope? To answer that, you need to understand one thing. Projects of this scale never reveal their cards early. When millions of people are connected to a system, information becomes more than news, it becomes leverage. Silence around the price isn't a mistake. It's a strategy. In the crypto world, silence usually means one of two things. Either the project is empty, or a major event is coming. And if you look at Pi's activity, daily updates, expanding KYC, new features rolling out, it becomes clear. This is not a dead project. It's alive, dynamic, and far more serious than it appears. Another factor that stands out is the stability of the community. Projects built on emptiness quickly lose people. But hundreds of millions of miners continue tapping daily for years. People don't stay in projects they don't believe in. Even if some doubt, the overall movement remains powerful and stable. And here lies Pi's unique feature. It creates a sense of participation. You're not just a token holder. You're part of an ecosystem. You don't buy, you mine. You don't play marketing games. You earn coins through contribution. This psychological effect strongly influences how users perceive value. But the most fascinating part is the limited accessibility. You can't buy Pi on an exchange. You can't sell it. You can only mine and wait for the network to open. And this waiting creates a massive discount. The market cannot price the token, so its value forms not from price, but from the scale of the community. However, the work on KYC became a turning point. The more users who complete verification, the closer the moment when the token becomes a real asset. Mass verification isn't just a requirement. It's the foundation. Without it, launching the open network would be impossible. Now imagine what will happen when millions of verified accounts suddenly gain the ability to transfer, sell, buy, and use the token. The crypto world hasn't seen an event like this before. It would be the overnight emergence of one of the largest user bases among all digital currencies. In most coins, growth comes after listing. For Pi, growth begins before it, because demand is formed not by the market, but by a massive base of people who waited for years for their balance to come alive. This isn't speculation. This is accumulated anticipation ready to explode. But risks exist, and everyone must understand them. Pi might enter the market with a low price if the team chooses stability, or it could launch extremely high and face sharp correction. Either way, the scenario will depend on how the network opens and how fast real use cases appear. Already, the first shops, services, and mini-markets accepting Pi as payment are being created. This is an early signal. Any cryptocurrency becomes valuable only when people can actually use it. If this trend grows, Pi could become the first mass-adopted token driven by real utility rather than hype. And now people face a choice. Stand aside while others prepare for potential liquidity explosion, or keep mining, verifying, and building their position. No one knows the exact outcome. But one thing is absolutely clear. In the crypto world, those who win are the ones who prepare earlier than everyone else. The real power of Pi Network reveals itself not in the current mining activity, but in what will happen after the main net opens. The number of users who already hold Pi makes the project unique. No cryptocurrency in history has ever launched with a user base larger than the population of many countries. This means liquidity won't appear because traders chase fast profits, but because real people want to use the coin in everyday life. Imagine for a moment that a full P2P marketplace opens. Millions of users will want to simultaneously exchange Pi for goods, services, jobs, and digital tools. This will create explosive internal demand. Many crypto projects spend years trying to achieve what Pi already has, an audience that is ready to use the token in the real world. But there's an even more important detail. The network launch will become not only an economic event but a social one. For many people, Pi became their first ever experience with a cryptocurrency project. Millions of users from developing countries felt for the first time that a digital asset can be accessible. This creates incredible engagement and emotional connection to the ecosystem. We also cannot ignore the strategic approach of the Pi team. They are not rushing, not promising instant results, and not giving premature dates. Such caution is a sign of a serious project that understands how a single wrong move can destroy trust. The longer the silence lasts, the stronger the tension and anticipation grow before the launch. And here a unique moment appears. The value of Pi may form not from the top down, like in classic cryptocurrencies, but from the bottom up. Not exchanges, not traders, and not funds will set the price, but real users exchanging tokens with each other. And if demand turns out to be higher than supply, growth becomes inevitable. Strangely, many skeptics underestimate a simple fact. Every day people continue mining Pi, they increase the future economic activity of the network. Even if someone just taps a button, that person becomes part of the statistics that will determine the strength of the ecosystem in the future. But it's also important to understand that when the main net opens, not everyone will instantly gain access to their coins. The system will open gradually, and those who already passed KYC will have an advantage. This means now is the moment when efforts have maximum value. Those who prepare early will be in the winning position. The biggest challenge will be for those who expect instant profit. Pi is not a project for people searching for quick wealth. It's built for those who take a long-term view. And it's those people who will benefit the most. The ecosystem will grow, solidify, and expand step by step. This kind of development makes Pi not just another cryptocurrency but a new experiment in distributed economics. It is an attempt to show that a network can be built not through money and investment, but through time, participation, and the trust of millions. And if this experiment succeeds, Pi will become one of the most influential crypto projects in history. It could change how people around the world interact with digital assets, not because the technology is complicated, but because participation is simple. And so the main question remains, are you just tapping every day, or are you preparing for the moment when your balance turns into real value? Because when that moment comes, the winners are always those who were ready before everyone else. When you look at Pi Network from the full perspective, you realize this. The project's real power isn't in the daily tap, it's in what grows around it. In the patience of millions, in anticipation, in a simple action that becomes a habit and later, a real asset. It doesn't matter how long it takes. What matters is that you keep moving while others hesitate. And now the real question remains. Which side are you on? Those who wait for things to happen, or those who prepare before the moment comes? Tell us in the comments if you believe in the Pi launch and what you plan to do when your balance becomes real value. If this video helped you see the bigger picture, like the video, subscribe, and continue the journey with us. In the crypto world, winners aren't the fastest, they're the most patient.